First of all, welcome to our call today, and then we will talk about Windows Azure Mobile Services with Windows Store applications. So basically, this is just the last episode of our session series, Windows 8.1. So basically today we will talk about Windows Azure Mobile Services integration into Windows Store application. So the main idea will be how you can create a new mobile services, and then what you can do with these services, and then modifying them for your need and for your application. So basically, let me introduce myself. My name is İbrahim and I'm working as a technical evangelist and Middle East and Africa DP team. So this is my blog address and this is my Twitter account. So you can just follow me from there, and then you can access previous recordings. So this is my blog address. So far we have delivered 10 sessions regarding Windows 8.1. So you can find all resources one by one inside of those series, and then you can get more detail regarding those the topics. So, and also we have a roadmap with this series. We will complete the Windows 8 roadmap, and basically the main idea is you will check yourself what do you know regarding Windows 8.1, and also you will complete those missing parts, and end of the day you will be able to create an application by yourself and for your application idea. So you will just decide what you need to do, and then you will just implement that thing in your application. So please go to this site and please check this these resources, and then you will find the all available resources in one place. So as I mentioned before, this is just the latest one and the last session, and for the previous session topics and the previous recordings, so you can just go to aks.ms/win8 online sessions. From this address, you can access all sessions. And at the same time, if you can click any presentation URL, so you will be able to check the all recorded videos as well. So at the same time, we will demonstrate all samples in XAML and C#. And during the session, you can ask any question from here, and I will be following through here. So basically, I have delivered this session before, and then you can just get more detail with push notifications, the editing the database, and then integrating into your application and authentications. So you can just go to my this previous recorded videos. So this was around 6-7 months ago, and you can just find the mutual topics. So the basic idea is the same. So you can just check those resources and then integrate into your application as well for more detail. So the idea is we will have the Azure backend mobile services, and we will integrate into our application. So if you attended one of my colleagues event Ümit Sunar, also he presented Windows Azure mobile services. I will share all resources with you. So if you wanted to go really dive deep, so you need to to check his the resources, and at the same time, so we have the official Windows Azure the documentations. So with those things, you can easily just go there and then follow one by one, and you will be able to integrate into your application. So this service basically allows you to create a database, and then integration between database and your application in a very easy way. So what can you do is you can just store any data inside of that, or you can just store any record inside of that. At the same time, you can have your logs inside of this Azure, and then you can just get one by one. So the main idea is you have a SQL database on Azure, and you have mobile services for that, for the bridge between your application and your database. You are just connecting these things with your application. Then after that, like, you will be able to, like, save any data on Windows Azure, and at the same time, like, you will be able to retrieve those data to your client. So the basically, like, this is just the source for that, windowsazure.com, the develop mobile. So if you can go to this URL, so you will be able to get more details regarding that. And like during the presentation, and also I will show you. And here is the video on my Vimeo channel, Vimeo/IQWatch. You can just go there and you can just get it. And at the same time, through this link, so you can just access this video. Let me close it. This is just a link, and we will start from here. Like the basic idea is you have the different options. So I will come to here again. So the case scenarios is make your application engaging and dynamic. So with the push notification and lifetime integrations, so you will easily integrate these kind of the connection points, interactions to your application. Even in every single device, even on the web or even on the Windows Phone or Windows 8 devices, you can easily have those. At the same time, for the rapid development, you don't have to create a service by yourself. So you can just use these kind of stuff, and then in a couple of minutes you can have your live backend, and with your database, with your the architecture, you can just have inside of that. So this will really save your time, and then after that your application will always scalable, and at the same time it will be connected to the internet all the time. And at the same time, there are some the login mechanisms, through the some accounts, you can use your the Facebook, Twitter, or Microsoft account or Google accounts. So you can just integrate your application with these kind of authentications. With this thing, you don't have to create a new authentication system. So this is just the point. You can just use Facebook authentication. Nearly most of the people they have their Facebook accounts. So you can just use that thing. Use just this authentication method, integrating in your application. So the main idea is you will save this development time, and then after that you will just focus on your application. So same thing for Twitter, Microsoft account, and the Google account. If we will move forward, so the mobile services means so you can easily connect to the cloud, to your SQL, your table, or your blob storage, and at the same time, so you can easily use some authentications Facebook, Twitter, Microsoft, and Google. And at the same time, you can just send the push notifications to Windows Phone and also in a Windows 8. At the same time, you can just do the same thing for iOS and Android devices. So you are just server-side scripts in order to send these kind of push notifications, or the insert, update, and also the delete the methods. So we will see that. And also you can use some custom APIs, and then you can use the schedulers. So we will have a look at that. So the main idea is you can use in the tablets. So Windows Store applications, iOS applications, Android applications. At the same time, for the mobile, you can use Windows Phone 8, iOS, Android, and HTML5 and JavaScript. So this is just basically really SDK, you will connect through the API and you will retrieve those things. So I hope you don't have any questions so far. So let me remove this one as well. So if you have any question, please let me know through the question and answer side. So again, this is just for Windows Azure Mobile Services, with the developer point of view. So if you want to get more detail regarding Windows Azure, so you need to go to windowsazure.com, and then you can easily access to portal, and then you can get more detail. So as I mentioned, there are lots of documentations. the main documentation is like, for Windows Store, you can just start from here, like your tutorial. At the same time, like for Windows Phone, like iOS, Android, HTML, and Xamarin. So Xamarin is like the cross-platform the development framework. So you can just develop your application on the top of that with C#, and then you can have your application on like the different platforms. So, and day by day, like, it is just increasing. Like if you watch my previous video, like there were really limited, like, number of like the services. So like they even like, 3 or 4 like services, and we had like the others as well. So the main idea is like you are just storing the data, you are just using the authentications, you are just using the push services, and then you are just scheduling like by time, and then like you are giving some rights to the application. And then you can get like all references, you can ask your question in here, you can find some samples, and for the SDKs you can download from here. So basically, if I will start from here, like from Windows Store, like tutorial, so basically it will give me like some couple of options, like for Windows Store, Windows Phone, iOS, Android, like the different one as well. So basically it is just introducing like step by step, and also you can watch the tutorial for 10 minutes and you can get an idea what this platform does. Then after that, like, it is just showing that how can you have an application like a to-do list sample step by step. So it is just like, telling you what should you do in order to create a database for that, and then in order to have a backend for that. So you can just like to use this like tutorial, and every single tutorial has their like the own like the rhyme, and then you can get more detail. For example, getting started with the data. So like my suggestion would be like please go to this website. Please go to this website, windowsazure.com/ in the language, and also like develop a mobile. And then like you will find lots of like the useful resources, useful documentation for that. So basically I will log in with my own account right now from the portal. So I will use my like the Hotmail account. So you can just have your like the subscription by paid, and at the same time if you are a student, like you can just like to get some like the students accounts as well. And at the same time, like if you have MSDN, you have right to like to use like the MSDN free offer as well. So basically what I will do is I will go to like the left side from the mobile services, and then I will see like what mobile services do I have. Then after that, like I will create a new mobile services. In order to do that, like I will use from here like the create new mobile services, and then I will say create. So basically it will just ask me for like the URL of my mobile service. Then I will say that IQ launch, let's say Winate series. Then what I will do is like I will just like to give my URL, and then after that like I can access from here IQ8 series.azuremobile.net. Other than that, I can just connect to my existing database, or I can create a free database for 20 megabytes. So it is all up to your scenario. If it will be like less than 20 megabytes, like you can just use this one. Or other than that, like if it will be flexible and then it might be scalable, so you can just use like creating a new database instance. I will just go for with the free one. And then what you need to do is, so you need to select a region for that, like which place is close to your like the country, like it will like change the the data speed, data transfer speed. So basically I will use like the North Europe for that, and then I will continue. So basically this will be my database, like Win8 series _DB. This will be my database, and I need to have a server for that. or like if I don't have a server, SQL database server, I can create one. So basically I have one. Instead of creating a new one, I will use this one, and then I will just use my own credentials first of all, and then I will move forward. Whenever I use this thing, so basically I can move forward, and then it is just creating the mobile services on behalf of me. So whenever it will be completed, I can go to the details and I can check a lot for the detail. So the good thing is it is just creating a mobile services. At the same time, it is just creating a SQL database as well. So basically it is not in here whenever it create my the services. So my SQL database will be available there as well. So it's right now an ATOM database, and then we will see right now after creating this one. So let's wait for a couple of seconds. During this time, if you have any question, please let me know. So it's ready right now. So if I will go to SQL database, it has been 19. So I can see my new database in here as well. So this is basically in here. So I can just go there and just check the detail. So basically, I will move forward from my mobile services. So basically, I will just click this one and I will go to the detail. So this is just my the dashboard, the main page for my application. So basically, I can just download the samples code SDKs for the different platforms. First of all, Windows Store, Windows Phone, iOS, and Android. So whenever I change those, my getting started has been changed. So on the below side. So I will continue with the Windows Store. So at the same time, you can just go to your dashboard, and you can just see in here your data consumption, and also on the right side you can see some detail regarding your account. And at the same time, API calls, the active devices or data, you can pretty easily see these kind of the sections in here. So if you have data, you can just watch it in here, through the APIs, you can just use in here. Let's wait for that. You can create your custom API. You can just use the scheduler. So if you want to integrate the push notification, you can use in here as well. And at the same time, for the identity, so you can just have your authentication from Microsoft account, Facebook, Twitter, the Google. So you can use from here. So at the same time, for the configuration, you can just go to the details regarding your server, database, and then you can put some other details in here as well. For scaling, also you can just go there and you can just check it, and then you can just maximize it when it will be serious. So this is just the 20 megabytes. So if I just want to have a normal one, more than 20 megabytes, so I can just go to the basics or standards in order to have more detail regarding that. So you can after running your application, you can also easily set from here as well. So this is just basically the main idea. So for example, for logs, so you can just check it in here, and then you can just see that. So as you can see, some the services are preview, so they will be available in the coming days. So this is just a pretty overview for the system. So if I just wanted to create a new Windows Store application, what should I do? So basically I have two options for that. Whenever I check in here from Windows Store, so then I will have some steps. First of all, I need to install Visual Studio Express 2013 for Windows 8.1, and also I need to create a table for that. So this is all up to you. You can create your own database, or you can just create from here by the default. and then you can just modify it after that. And after that, what you need to do is you can just download the sample code and you can modify it. So pretty easy steps. So like we can do that. And at the same time, so you can just click here, connect an existing application, and you can just select a language, so which will be like the C# or JavaScript. So it's all up to you. Then after that, like you will move forward, and then you will integrate like these kind of features in your application, and then you can just like have some other classes like here. So like we are just basically having these kind of like the features. So basically you are just creating a database table in here, like create item table, and then you are just using this class for that, and then you are just like integrating this thing in your project. So basically we will do both, and then like we'll see like what are the differences between them, and then we will see like how can we modify our existing like the database, and what will be the way to do that. So basically I will create a new store application from here, and then first of all I need to create the to-do item list. So this is coming as a like a demo. So like whenever you play with this one, like you will be able to like understand how can you modify it or how can you use it, and then after that you can use your own code for that. So basically I created a like to-do item table for myself. What I will do is I will just download from the C#. So I will click here, and then like my code is ready right now. So I will just save on my desktop. So let me save into Windows Azure Mobile. So whenever I save it, like it will be there. Let me open the folder. So this is just a zip package. So let me extract all of them. It will be here. So let me remove the zip file. So this is just basically a Ready project, so which is like automatically connected to your Windows Azure. So the basic, like now I will run my service right now. I will run my application right now, and we'll see like now what will happen. So basically, like if you will have a look at that, so there are some references like already built inside of my application, like Microsoft Windows Azure Mobile, and also like the other DLLs for that, others like packages. Then after that, so what it does is basically it is just connecting to my mobile services. Then after that, like it is using my credentials, like it is using my backend for that. So basically this is just a ready one. And after that, like if I will go to main page. So in the main page, like there are some samples. So first of all, I need to build my project. So let me build my project. Build started, build success, build succeeded. So whenever I double click in here, like the main page, I can see in here. So basically this is just a customized application for myself, and I can just insert some to-do items inside of my project. And then after that, whenever I add something, I can just refresh, and I can just list in my list view from here, or I can just use my text box for that. So let's run the project and let's see how it will look like. Whenever I run this project, this is just saying that, okay, insert to the item. So let's say go to code behind. First of all, this will be my first item. Then whenever I add it, it will appear in here. Then I will say that go to the Azure portal. Azure portal, and then dive deep to the data and SQL structure. So these will be our basic items whenever we do. So the first of all, we have checked the code behind, and we will go to detail again. So whenever I click there, it's automatically disappearing. So this is just a basic item, and then I can see it in here. So let me close this application. So like basically the main idea is, so whenever I double click in here, like the button say, so let me see what is happening. Go to definition. So this is just a basically creating an item for like from that text like to the item, and then after that we are inserting that to the item. So if I will go this to the item, so basically it has like the three like like properties. So first of all, like the ID, and then second one is like the text of it, and the third one is my like like flag, like is it completed, if it is completed or not. So this is just a basic thing, and then we are using like this class, this object in every single place, like insert to the item, or like in here, like as you can see, like if we can go back like to here, like the save button, so there's a method insert to the item. So if we will go there, like, and also it is getting a parameter as a to the item. If I will go there, so basically what it does is, so it is connecting my Azure Mobile Services, and it is inserting my item inside of that. Then after that, I'm adding this item in my list as well, like in my items list. So if I will go there, like items list is here. So basically we are just like displaying this item list in our like list view. So basically we are using this thing as a like the item source, and then also we are just checking in here. So whenever we retrieve like these kind of things like from the to-do table, we are just collecting data like collections. So like with flex, for example, this is just like checking that like if my items are completed or not. So basically whenever I run it again, so this will like get my like the items which are not completed. So if I will change that to true, for example, so this will like bring me like the some items so which has been completed. So it is just completed, and like it is checked. Whenever it's checked, it is again like disappearing. So this is just like basically like easy like this. So like you can just like have your like the old query, and then like even in here, like you can just like ask for completed, or you can just like compare with like different sections like ID or like the text. So it's all up to you. You can just modify in here. And then you can get like some detail regarding that. So this is in our application side. So what will happen? So when we will check our like the portal. So basically, if you remember, we have a data section. So the good thing is like whenever we create our like database, we have a table for that to the item. So whenever I go to the item, I can see that like my details. For example, my ID, same thing for like the text, and same thing for if it is completed or not. So I can just check from here. Whenever I move right, like there are some like already like built-in the fields that created that or updated that or sending with the version. So you can just like see in here. So this is just basically like ready for my use, and I can just use that. Whenever I go to table, there are some like the templates for the scripts. For example, whenever I use this script, let's say, I can see like what will happen when I insert something in my application, or same thing with like whenever I update, what will happen, or same thing with deleting or reading. So the good thing is like let's imagine like you send a query and then it will be completed. You can easily get a notification like after here. So like this means like this is just like the script based like on the cloud mechanism, and then you can just change from here with the JavaScript, and you can just like have these kind of things. So if I will move the columns, I can just see that like what kind of like fields do I have. First of all, like the ID, like as a string, like created and updated time, like this is just a date time. Same thing with the version, this is just a time timestamp. Same time, like the text is string, and then like the complete is boolean. So this is just the basic like text, complete, and ID I have described in my application, like in here, like in the class. This is string, string again, like the complete. So the good thing is like, Azure Mobile Services is dynamic. So whenever I add a new field in here, it is just basically like, getting that thing and then updating my application. So like, we will see like in the demo, like in the coming samples right now, and then we can just, have a look at that. And for the, like, these kind of scripts, we have some permissions. So for inserting, we can say that, for example, if you wanted to update your application, only members can like insert something. So we can just say that then like only authenticated users, or like only scripts and admins. So this means like if you wanted to lock some methods for the all users, so you can just use this existing mechanism. So this means like you can just like have your application, and then you can just give some rights to the users. So after when they log into the application. So this is just easy and like very easy to do that. So you can just like watch tutorials how can you do that, and also same thing for like the others as well. Because of the limited time, so we won't go to the detail, but you can just check from here. So if you will go back, and same thing for like like the data, like the same thing for API, like the same thing for logs, like you can just like the check from here. So like everything is like in here, and then you can just go to the detail and you can just check that. So as I mentioned before, this is just like the database, and also we can access that as well. So if you wanted to like to change some stuff inside of there, so you can just like have a look at that. So let me connect through my Visual Studio. So what will happen? Let me see that. So this is just like basically my like server address. So I will just like copy this one, and then what I will do is I will just go to my like the server, and also I will just connect to here with my authentication and type my password, and then I can select one of my databases from here. So basically this is just my database for my application for my Windows Azure Mobile Services. So basically I can just connect through here, and then I can easily modify that. So if I can go to the detail, I can just see it. So basically like you can just like modify your database or modify your data through here, or like from your like SQL database management like from the SQL, like the management tool, you can just use it, and you can use like you can just check from there. So like go to Azure portal, and we can say that like important. So whenever you update it, like it will appear in the application as well. So basically like you can just access in here. You can just like right click and edit that, and then like you can easily use in your application. So like this is just up to your scenario, and then up to your usage. So like this will be really helpful for your like custom application, and then you can show and display inside of the app. So the surface is loading, so basically it will just show the definition of the table fields, and after that like you can just modify it from here or modify it from here, like it is all up to you. So let me close this one and let me go back to my portal. So like if you remember, like we have some different options. So first of all, like we have Windows Store, and we have Windows 1.8, iOS, Android, or different places, different platforms. So let's say if I wanted to have my like the HTML and JavaScript. So the basic like I can just use the same application in different platform. So what I will do is I will just say that like download. I will just download my like the sample on my project, and then I will say that this will be my HTML. Whenever it will be done, I will just open this sample in my project as well. I will extract this one. So let me remove the zip file. Whenever I go to detail, I can see my the HTML and JavaScript and CSS. So I can just see the server. In order to run that, you need to just double click for that. And then so the basic all descriptions are listed in here. So it's saying that the launch this one, and then go to this browser set. So whenever you go there, basically it is just running your application in here, and then you can just display it on in your browser. So basically, as you can see, you can just access in here. So your existing one, and also if you remember that we have just changed it through our database, and then we can see that okay, we have checked this one, and then it will disappear. And then we set that deep dive to data and the SQL structure. So we have done that. So we can say that go back to project and change it. So whenever I say that, I can see it in here, and then I can say that modify existing table. So these are my the other to-do lists. And then the good thing is whenever I make some changes, so it will appear in my application as well. So whenever I run this project, so the good thing is I can see it in here as well. Everything will be here, and then whenever I go back, and then whenever I run my desktop again, so everything will be here. So the good thing is, so you need to add one by one, and you need to refresh it. So you can say that run side by side 2 apps, and then whenever you add this one, you can just enter here as well. So then it will be here, and then whenever you click there, so it will automatically disappear in here as well when you press F5. So this means you will have one database, you will have one the service, and after that you can just access from every single platform. So this is really good news. So you can just access from your Windows 8 application, Windows 4 application. You can access from HTML or Xamarin or Android, iOS, Windows Phone. So this means you will create only one backend and one service, and then you can just access from every single place. So let me check questions. There was one question, so let me check it. The question is she just wanted to access my blog and recordings. So basically, if you can go to my blog site and then check any single detail in here, so you will see video in here. So basically I uploaded on YouTube. So please can you make sure YouTube is available in your country. For example, in Pakistan it's banned, I guess. And at the same time, if you can check your proxy, where you're accessing university or something like that, or your company, so please make sure it is not banned there. So if there's a problem, please let me know. I would really love to upload on different places Vimeo or different places, and then you can just access from there. So this is just basically one place for that. So you just create this one, and then you can download the different things from here, and this will be the one step for that. So do you have any questions so far? Okay, so please let me know if you cannot access from there. As I mentioned before, I can easily upload on the different platforms, and you can just get them from there. Even on the SkyDrive, I can upload all recorded videos, and you can just access all of them. So this is just a good thing, and then we can just see in here. So the good thing is we have seen how can we use the ready template for that. So basically if we wanted to change this one in here some the properties. So what should we do? As I mentioned for this the mobile services are dynamic, and then you can easily set some the different things, and you can just add something in your application as well. So let's say instead of text, if you want to add some description, if you add some description and then wanted to modify in the application as well, so what you will do? So basically I add a new property we call description, and then let's say whenever I add new thing in my application, instead of texting, I can just add some the description as well. So in order to do that, I will say that this is just a description plus, and then if I will say that this will be my text, imagine that if we put some the description in our application, let's add a new the text block in our application, and then let's get the description from there as well. So this is just the text input, and then if I just paste in here, move it there, and then make it smaller. Oops. Let me say 100, and same thing for let me make it a 200 in order to have in my application, and then I can just see that even with rotation of it, we can just change the rotation instead of vertical, we can just have horizontal. Let me change it at the beginning. So this will be just again the same. What I will do is I will just change the orientation of the stack panel. It will be vertical instead of horizontal, and then I can see it in here. The first one is the text input, and the second one will be my description input. So basically whenever I click save button, I will just go there and go to definition, and then I will modify that. So let me make it smaller, and let me make it bigger. So in here, so what I will do is I will just say that, so I just want the description input text, and I will just update my database with that. I built my application first of all, and then I will just run my app, and then I will say that add more feature. So this means you can use whenever you click save, so it has been edited here. So our view is just showing just the text, so as a default, but we have added a new field, and we have also added a new the text block in here. So let's see what happened into our backend. So let me go back, and let me go to portal first of all. So if you remember, we went to the data and to the items. And then let me go to the items, and let me check it. So the good thing is, I can see all my recording in here. So if you notice that there's a description. So this means I can easily add a new field, or I can easily modify my fields through here. So I can just check it, and I can just use it inside of my application site. So this will be really easy to do that. So even through your application site. So for example, if you wanted to access your to-do item, and if you wanted to check it if it is already there or not, you can just check from here. Let me go to let me run the application, and let me go to this feature object, and let me see that how my items are seem like. So as you can see, let me a quick watch this one. Oops, it's here. So if you can go to item, so let me make it smaller. So you can easily see that complete, and we have new description right now. So basically this is just the new stuff, and then whenever you go to the detail, you can just see in here. So this means you can just display it, or you can just modify it. You can just show in your application. This is just easy one. So this is just from your database, and then when you go back to the database, how it will look like. We have seen in here, this is just our table view, our database view. Again, same in here as well. So if I will just open this one, show in my application, I will just see how it will look like. As you can see in here. So the ID, creative time, everything else, and more, we can just see description. So you got the idea, right? Basically you can just easily define your the own concept, own things. Even in here, you can just modify the all fields, and you can just have your own method in your application, and you can use in your application as well. So basically what you need to do is you need to define first of all a database and the field, and after that you need to define your this class in your project, and then you need to define the other things, and then other items and other objects in your application. So basically I will close this one, and then I will just have a look at that from the different perspective. So let me go back. So this is my mobile services, and then whenever I go there, so first of all I created a Windows Store application. So what if I just wanted to access from existing storage or existing database? So what will happen? So basically I will go there. So in order to quit from ISSO, this is okay. So I just exit from the local IS for my HTML stuff, so it is on right now. So what I will do is, so basically I just wanted to connect to my existing application. So with my credentials, there are some steps. So it's just basically creating an item table, and then it's just accessing there. So let's create a custom one, and then this will be another way to access our application. So basically I will just create a new project, blank project in my projects online sessions. So let's say, okay, so I will say that in Azure custom app, I will create an app custom blank application, and I will try to connect my backend in my application, and I will see how it will look like. So basically the main idea is, so you need to select your first language. You can just select JavaScript, or you can just select C#. So basically it's saying that I need to get from the NuGet packages these deals, the Windows Azure Services package as a reference. As a reference, I need to get this one. So let me copy this, and then let me get from the NuGet packages. In order to do that, you need to use in here. So NuGet packages mainly some deals or some ready packages, references related with your application. For example, if you are using the JSON parser, or if you are using a different thing, so you will just go there and you will just check it. So basically I will add this mobile services, and then I will head into my application. It's asking for the licenses. Okay, I agree, I accept it. And also this is just an official tool from Microsoft. You can see in here, and you can see like the descriptions for all other NuGet packages as well. I will just close it. It's okay. And then it says that, so you need to add like this reference into your project first of all in applications XAML CS. So what I will do is I will just copy this one, and I will go to my applications XAML CS, and then I will add this one to here. So this will be my like Microsoft Windows Azure Mobile Services. So it is here, and then what I will do is I will just add this thing into my project. You can just copy from here. This is just copied, and then what I will do is I will just go to my application, and then I will say that like it will be here. So basically, like you can just like easily define like what you are doing in your application. So everything is here right now. So this is okay. What it's saying that, so in order to like have this thing, you need a table. So like I can just create the item table, and then after that it is like you can just use in my application. So I just click here. So it is just generating right now. So let's wait for a couple of seconds, and then like it's saying that like you have just created the set. So what I will do is like it's saying that like add a sample item class to your project. So like we will add this item class for our project. I will just copy, and I will just go to here, and I will just right click, add a new item or new class, saying that item. I will just pass this item to here. So this is just basically like like ID and text. That's it. So basically I will just close it, and then like it's saying that finally like use mobile services, like you need to like have this thing in your application. So this looks pretty the same with what we did in like the to-do items. So basically what I will do is I will just go to my application, and like I will go back to toolbox, and I will just get a text box in my application. So like I will say that I will give a name for that. The input text. Then I will need a button for like saving. So I will just say that save. So whenever I like click here, like click this button, so I need to like have like this method from here, this text in here, and then like display in my application. So basically like I will just say that this is just a button, and then like what I need to do is I need to go back to here and then copy this one, and then pass it into my application. So this is just a way to do that, but so first of all, I need to define in here, like as a text, I can just say that this is just like an input. But first of all, I need to build my project. So first of all, let me add solve this problem. So because this is just await, and in order to use like await methods, this is just an asynchronous method. So I need to use like async modifier for my method. So whenever I add that, it will be automatically recognized, and then my application will be capable with using this async methods. Then after that, I need to do I need to get my the input from my XAML page. But let me see is the name is correct, input text. This is correct. So let me go back. So I will just say that input text. Okay, this is just in here. So basically what I will do is I will just run my application and then get this thing, and it will just insert this thing to my database. So I will just run this one. You can just say that this is test, the test item. So we are just adding in here and test 3. So basically I just added all of them. So let me check my backend and how it will look like. So if I will go back, so basically we have created a item table, right? So in order to see that, I need to go to the data. So from the data, I can just go there and I can just check it. As you can see, it is here right now. So it's here and then saying that the item, 2 indexes and 3 records, I can just check it. Whenever I click there, I can get more details. So the basically an idea, how can you get it? So here are the IDs, here are the text. You can see this is just test item, this is second, this is third, you can just see that. And even you can just see in here the created that, updated that, and the versions, everything is ready and waiting in here. So this is just basically the main the features of this kind of applications. If I will go back to my Server Explorer, and then is my application, let me type it again and let me see how it will look like in the database. As I mentioned before, this is same, this is just a database the view, the table view, and you can just have the same thing in here as well if you are comfortable to use it. And you can see it in here, this table is available here. I can just show that table and then see inside of here, what are the changes, what are the the key things, and I can display it. So the good thing is, again, it is here as well. It's the same. I can get more detail, everything is here. So the good thing is, this is just for inserting. Same thing for retrieving the data. You can use the same thing. What we did in this session, this city. And what you need to do is, you need to just get all results like this, refresh the items. So you will just modify this thing which is suitable for your items, and then you will just display in your application or display in your list view or just your grid view. So this will be the main place for that. So this is just pretty cover for all the Windows Azure features. So this is just same thing for that. So the main idea is we have just integrated in here one table, for example, to the item. So what can you do is you can just create the same thing what we did in here as well. So in here, so basically the idea is the same. You are just accessing from the same the service and the same thing, the same credentials. So if I can copy this one, and if I can go back to my Windows Azure sample, ready sample. So this is just basically the same. So you will see that this is the same and this is the same. So basically you are just accessing to the same backend. And if you will say that, so for example, instead of using this one, let me go back to the main page. So for example, you have just added it to the item, in here for your application, for example. If you wanted to do the same thing for the items, so what can you do is let me go back to project and then let me copy this one. You can just copy the same in here as well. Like, let me copy and paste under the button. It's here. So basically, like this is a pseudo item, and then you can just like resolve this one like whenever you're at that time at that thing, and then like you can just like use this thing. So you need to add this item, for example. So let me just create a new class for that. Add class, and then let me say that. So this is just your item, and so whenever you go back, so basically like it will like help you to having this one in your application. So let me get this one and get this one, and at the same time, like you can just like have the same thing in your application. You don't have to carry this one. Let me you can just like add in here a same void, and then you can just define in here as well. So this is just defined. So let's test it. Most probably it will connect to the both databases, and then whenever you add something, it will add to there as well. Let me say that. Let me test both. Let's say test both. So it is here. So let me go back and let me check my items. So it is in here, like this is just to the items. Let me see them. Test both. It is here. So if I will go back to item, so it is here as well, like the both. So basically you can just access like two the tables at the same time in one project, or if you wanted to have the same view, or if you wanted to have a view from here, like from different two databases, like you need to get from here read or the update. So you need to put some JavaScript queries, and then you need to get results from there. So this is just a basic one, the method for that. So I hope it helped you. So if you have any more questions, yeah. Thanks, Gordon. So the basic these are just the basics, and then in terms of point of developer view, so you can just use this basic for that. So for more detail, you need to go to this website. So please go there and please check every single detail from there, every single materials, and then you can just see in here, and then you can just have the same thing in your application. So if I will move forward, this is from my colleague, you can just get more details regarding Windows Azure Mobile Services. There are two separated calls. If you wanted to get more details regarding adding authentication, or adding push notifications or something like that, you can just use this place for that. For more details, for Azure Mobile Resources, you can just use these resources, and then I will share on my blog again this PowerPoint presentation, and you can get more detail. So if you have more questions, you can use my Microsoft account, email address. You can just follow me from Twitter. You can just get all recorded videos from my blog address, and at the same time, if you have any question or if you wanted to share anything related to the latest updates, you can access from Mia V8 Champs. So for blog, yes, you can add it. You can just we have seen in the at the description as well. So for more details, as I mentioned before, you can just just check from these resources, and at the same time from this resource. So most probably you will find the way to do that. So do you have any questions so far? Thanks, Johnny. Like, if you have no questions, like, you can just send me an email by, like, through the Twitter or through my, like, email account. So basically, this is just, like, introduction for, like, Windows 8 description, Windows 8, thanks a lot. You can just, access, like, all materials for Windows 8.1 development, and also you can just get it from there. But the question is, like, what is the basic for mobile services, like, this is just a bridge between your database and your client. So you can just usually, like, you can just easily use this thing. Like, this is just a kind of like a bridge between that. Other than that, like, you cannot directly access your database. There is no way to do that. If you wanted to get your details or records, you need to use, like, these services. So, like, again, like, we have, like, the separated platforms, and then you can just, like, get, like, all of them from the different places. And, like, please, like, to watch like, the recorded videos, and also, like, to follow the Azure Mobile Services, like, documentations. You will definitely, like, to find a useful way for that. So thanks, Gordon. So again, guys, thanks a lot, and we hope to see you in the next series. So if you want to get more details in the coming days, please, like, like, to check my blog post. Especially, I'm thinking of, like, submitting like the short videos and the short tutorials. And at the same time, like, please, like, to check my Twitter address. Like, follow that in order to, like, to get latest updates and then the latest information. And again, like, please, like, to go join to our like the media influencer group. So basically, this is just a place to share your knowledge and then get more information. So thanks a lot, guys, again, and then hope to see you, like, in different calls, and really appreciate it for your time. Thanks.